It is 48 days to the 2023 general election. Good afternoon and welcome to Standpoint. I am Precious Amayo. Now, Adamawa State is the home of the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party. It is also the home of the wife of the president of the country. But what are his chances in his home state, and that's Atiku Abubakar? We know that candidates have been going around in that state trying to sort of campaign to voters. It is almost like a do-or-die affair because Atiku has to prove that he can win his state. And APC is also geared up to take that state. Now, where APC is gaining grounds in that state after the governorship candidate of the APC, Aishatu Binani, was reinstated by the appeal court in Yola. Now, with this settled, what is the chances of the incumbent Amadu Fintiri of the PDP and the APC governorship candidate, Aishatu Binani? To talk about this is the Director General, Media and Communications to the Governor of Adamawa State, Solomon Kumanga. And also joining me is the Secretary, the Public Committee of the APC Presidential Council in Adamawa State. Good to have you, both of you gentlemen. All right, let me begin with Mr. Solomon Kumanga, who I'm guessing you are the, sorry, let me begin with the APC, the Secretary of the APC Presidential Council, Public Committee rather. We understood some time ago that Amadu Fintiri he denied President Buhari the use of the Ribadu Square, but we're also hearing now that that was for the governorship campaign, flag off of the governorship campaign. But we hear that that has been settled. What more can you tell us about that?
Well, to begin with, I would want to say it's the issue of settled is just an afterthought by the state government and the state governor, probably after the back and forth about the approval for the venue. Actually, the governor decided, because of what he feels, probably to safeguard himself and to protect himself from getting the votes that he thinks he was going to get in the general election, by giving the Presidential Campaign Council the approval to use the venue on the 18th, they denied the state governorship candidate from using the venue on the 9th. And then after all the back and forth, again, the two campaign rallies were fused together to hold on the 9th because President Muhammadu Buhari obliged the governorship candidate that he was going to be in the flag off of the governorship candidate and then the governor decided later on to say he is going to allow the venue to be used on the 9th. So I don't know the rationale which he used after officially writing to the chief of staff in the State House in Abuja to say that the venue will not be available on the 9th, and they gave an excuse that he cannot guarantee the president's security outside the Ribadu Square, which he thinks is more secured. But here you are talking to the Commander-in-Chief of the Nigerian Armed Forces. So when you're talking about security, he should have more info from security agencies to know where he is secured and where he's not secured. But to give that as an excuse is just to find a flimsy excuse to be able to deny the governorship candidate the venue. But I think if what the state government said, that extensive work is going on at the Ribadu Square, which is not going to permit them to allow the governorship candidate to use the venue, and they are going to hasten work to finish it on the 18th, then what has changed between the 2 days to be able to allow the APC to use the venue on the 9th? So actually, the APC governorship candidate decided that Ribadu Square is out of the issue. The venue that was gotten as a substitute is going to be used for the flag off on the 9th, and the president is going to be at that venue and not Ribadu Square, so they can go ahead with the construction work and the repairs they are undertaking at the Ribadu Square.
But let me ask you, because the reason that was given for the initial denial or rejection of the use of that venue is that it is under renovation. Is the Ribadu Square under renovation or not?
I think the work that is going on is that of drainages. The main structure and the schematics of the Ribadu Square is not affected. And I want to let you know, for those who know Adamawa State very well, the VIP entrance that is facing the deputy governor's office gate is just they are facing each other. That gate has not been tampered with. That gate can still be accessed by the VIPs. And the other gates that the construction work is going on of drainages, that gate can also be used if the government wants it to be used. And I wanted to let you know that that same venue was used by the governor the night of 31st into the 1st to do the New Year celebration. That same venue was used on the 1st by some artists to celebrate the New Year. So between that point and the 7th, the government is giving an excuse that the construction worker, the company, is going to resume work on the 7th. And so the venue cannot be available on the 9th because work is going to be ongoing at that point. So what has changed? My question is, what has changed in these 2 days? Is the governor still suspending the construction company from resuming work? If that is so why was that concession not given to the governorship candidate until the president is not available for the 18th and is coming on the 9th? And all of a sudden, there is a U-turn that the venue is going to be available on the 9th. And I think that is the rationale why the organization of the governorship campaign decided that we should stick to the alternative venue that we've gotten, not to be toyed around with, because the government cannot be trusted. They can still go ahead on the eve of Sunday night to tell us that the venue is not going to be available on the night. So we are not ready to be stranded. So the alternative venue is more secure, is owned by a member of APC. It is owned by one of the House of Reps candidates of APC. And work, as I'm talking to you now, work has gone advanced stage to make the venue ready. And the venue will be ready by tomorrow for the flag off both of the presidential campaign and the governorship campaign on Monday.
Just to be clear, you are not holding your campaign at the Ribadu Square?
Ribadu Square is out of it. We are not holding it at Ribadu Square.
I would get the conversation to, just a minute, Mr. Dickson. I will bring the conversation to Mr. Kumanga in just a moment. But we need to just let our viewers know that we'll be joining the APC rally live in Ondo State, while this conversation will continue on other platforms.
Hey, hey, is it what we want? See, everybody vote for Adamawa. Hey, come on.
All right, so Mr. Kumanga, you've heard all that Mr. Dickson have said about these allegations and the denial of the use of the Ribadu Square. What's your response to that? I want to be sure that we still have Mr. Solomon Kumanga on the line. All right. We understand that he's still working on the settings of his because we're speaking to him virtually as well, so he's still trying to fix the settings just so we can see him clearly. But let me stay with you, Mr. Dickson. I was asking earlier if you were saying, sorry I interrupted you, because you were saying that the Ribadu Square, you are no longer going to use the Ribadu Square, because the information we had earlier was that the governor has now approved the Ribadu Square. But you are saying that, did you get the approval but chose the alternative?
We are not taking that. We are not taking that. We've already shifted to the alternative position venue, and we are using the alternative venue. So the reason that he gave for the construction to go on at the Ribadu Square, let the construction company go on. We have an alternative venue that is conducive. The capacity is okay. It is secured, and it is very, very comfortable for the APC rally to take place without any breach. So I think the governor can go ahead and continue his construction at the Ribadu Square.
All right. So we'll have Mr. Kumanga. We will allow him to respond to that. But you are, I mean, your candidate, Aisha Binani, have been reinstated by the court. She will now be running in this election. But there are those who say that, look, the Adamawa state has always been a PDP state. APC had it just for one term, and that was in 2015. And it went back to the PDP. And perhaps this is a wild goose chase for the PDP. For the APC, rather. How would you respond?
Saying that probably to satisfy their paymasters, or they are talking on and not knowledgeable background, because APC is very, very formidable and it is strong in Adamawa State. Let me take you back a little bit. If APC is not in control or does not have a formidable force and followership in Adamawa State, between the last elections, when we know that the reasons are obvious that brought in the PDP government, it is not because APC did not get the required votes to win the election, but it is the internal crisis in the APC that gave that opportunity for the PDP to come in. So they were just holding brief for the APC. And between that time and now, the governor had come out on several occasions and have publicly and arrogantly said that he has killed APC in Adamawa State and there's no opposition in Adamawa State. If there is no opposition and there is no APC, why is he denying or refusing the governorship candidate the venue? Because he knows that the kind of massive followership and the phenomenon that is going along with the Binani movement is one that is going to shake the very foundations of the seat where he is sitting. And so he was scared of that and he decided to deny the venue. But we got an alternative venue that is of equal standard and capacity to match the crowd that is going to converge at Ribadu Square if we were to use Ribadu Square. So APC had become stronger between that time and now that we're going into elections. So if it were a PDP state, you should know that by this time, there wouldn't have been APC. But APC has become stronger. APC has sent jittery and fears into the nerves of the governor and the PDP in Adamawa State. And that is why you see them trying to use inequitable and standards that are not supposed to be used in politicking to cause disharmony in the state and then to deny the governorship candidate from using venue. If not, why will the state government give approval for the presidential candidate to have his rally at Ribadu Square and refuse the governorship candidate of the same party the right to use Ribadu Square? Then you should know that it is a deliberate attempt to cause disharmony and to cause friction within the APC ranks, because that has always been the prayer and the anticipation of the PDP government so that they can win elections, because they know that it was that kind of disharmony that brought them into power in 2019. But to their disappointment, APC had continued to mend fences, APC had continued to build bridges, and APC had continued to come together in unity to form a force that is ready to take over the government in Adamawa State by May 29, 2023.
So let me put you on hold. We'll take a break. And when we return, hopefully we'll have Mr. Solomon Kumanga on the line. And if we don't, we'll just continue the conversation with you. You're watching Standpoint. We'll be back in a moment. Stay with us. Thanks for staying with us. You're watching Standpoint. We're still talking local politics there in Adamawa, as there is a showdown is set in that state for the governorship election. And we know that the presidential candidate of the PDP is from Adamawa State, but the wife of the president is also from Adamawa State. And so it looks like there is a showdown. The president is supposed to be there sometime next week, I think it is, for the flag off of the governorship campaigns in that state. And we have with us, talking about politics in that state, we have Martins YANATHAM DICKSON. He's the secretary at Adamawa State Media, APC, PCC, that's the APC Presidential Campaign Council. We also have with us the Director General, Media and Communications to the Governor of Adamawa State, Solomon Kumanga. But Mr. Kumanga seems to be having a challenge with his settings on Zoom because he's joining virtually. Hopefully, he joins before the end of the conversation. But we'll continue with Mr. Dickson. Mr. Dickson, you were saying earlier that it seems that the governor is scared of the following of Mrs. Aisha Binani. But we know that the president will be at the flag off of that campaign. Is that necessarily her supporters that will be there, or those who are turning up for the president?
That is a very sensitive and a tricky question indeed, but it is good to be clear. I want to let you know that if you will follow the trend of events, you find out that on the very day that, let me say the next day, after the Court of Appeal upheld her candidature for the All Progressives Congress, within 24 hours, the candidate decided, okay, she's going to come into the state. The crowd that was seen receiving her at the airport to the party secretariat in the state was overwhelming. That was unbelievable. And it has to draw the attention of the state government, because to me, I was surprised that just the coming in of the candidate after the Court of Appeal judgment, and then the state government found it a worthy cause to respond and to even say that the crowd were hired, the crowd were paid to be there. Now, I want to let you know that even if the crowd are to be paid, if you don't have the goodwill with your money, nobody will turn out to receive you. And within 24 hours, people that heard about the judgment and that the candidate was going to come in came in to show their support, drove themselves into the state capital to receive her. So Binani has a large followership. It is a movement. The Binani candidature is a movement in Adamawa State. It is not just a political process to elect a government, but people are seeing that their lives are going to be better. Her antecedents are beginning to tell on the common man on the street, because people are beginning to shift their trust to her because they know from what she has done in the past that she'll be able to take care of the welfare of the people as much as put in lasting and sustainable development plans that will take care of the system in Adamawa State, and not just for a period of 4 years, but the people of the state are going to enjoy that. So people who are coming in are people who love APC. They are APC supporters. They are supporters of Binani and supporters of Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So there is no differentiating. But I want to let you know that the people who love Binani and are supporting Binani are going to turn out in their masses. You can have your crew on ground to do a crowd analysis of the people that are going to be gathered, and I believe that you're going to have a positive result that you're going to tell Nigerians and Adamawa people after that.
But does she have enough crowd to win this election? Bearing in mind that you have the power of incumbency. Ahmadu Fintiri is still the governor. He's of the PDP. And then you also know that the presidential candidate of the PDP is from that state, Atiku Abubakar. People say that, look, he's a formidable force in that state as well. So does your candidate have enough support on ground to upturn this election?
The APC candidate, Senator Aisha Tudair Binani, has the support and has the capacity and the followership to win this election. Crowd does not win election. We have people who have their PVCs who are ready to change this government and ensure that Senator Binani becomes the governor. Yes, quite of course, the PDP presidential candidate is from Adamawa State, but I want you to know that even within the PDP ranks, there are people who are supportive of Binani who know that her candidature is going to be for the good of Adamawa State rather than supporting the PDP governorship, the PDP governor who is on seat at the moment. And I want you to know, do not forget that it is not the popular vote that brought in Right Honorable Ahmadu Umaru Fintiri into government as governor. It was the crisis, the internal disagreements within the APC that brought him into government in 2019. And those fences have been mended. And the phenomenon of Binani is taking care of those loopholes. So he does not have the advantage of the internal crisis that he had in 2019 to sustain his hold on power. So APC is coming back to take forth that which really belongs to them. The people who are supporters of APC with their PVCs refused to leave the party, stayed with the party. For these 4 years, nobody went anywhere. Just a few hungry people decided to collect money and say they are decamping. But you have not heard of any significant person in the last 1 year that is saying he's leaving the APC to join the PDP. Why? Because they are not comfortable with the governor, and the governor does not have that followership and that command. But Binani has that followership, and everybody knows, and that is why the governor is already jittery. Remember that immediately Binani emerged as the APC governorship candidate, the governor went forth to bring in a woman will be his deputy. Why did he quickly change his deputy governor to a woman? He was thinking he's going to buy in the votes of the women, but no. Binani is not the deputy governorship candidate he brought in a hurry in order to get the votes of the women cannot match the followership of Binani, cannot match the command of the kind of people ready with their voters card to vote in Binani. So that is not going to work for him. You can see that it is just a responsive strategy that the government has always been putting in place. The PDP government has always been putting in place in order to stop the APC candidate from winning the election. But that is not going to work. Binani is winning this governorship election square. And
you don't think that the influence of the presidential candidate of the PDP, Atiku Abubakar, will work in the favor of the PDP in that state?
No. The influence is Atiku Abubakar is different from Right Honorable Amadou Umaru Fintiri. And even right within the PDP ranks, there are people who are not supporting the governorship candidature of Right Honorable Amadou Umaru Fintiri. So that influence is not going to work for him. We know what is on ground. We know the work we are doing on ground. And then Binani is going to have that massive support. So hiding behind Atiku Abubakar is not going to give him that massive vote that he thinks he's going to have. And if the governor is comfortable with the incumbency factor, and he's comfortable with the candidature of the presidential candidate of the PDP, why is he responsive in his strategy and trying to be inequitable in trying to deny the APC candidature some certain privileges that as a citizen and have APC members as citizens of Adamawa State have the right to? And so you can see where the whole issue is. He is already G3. He already knows that he's losing ground. And we're going to get the votes right from within the PDP and right all the APC ranks. We're going to get the votes and win the governorship election this year. When
you say that Atiku Abubakar is different from the governor, Amadou Fintiri, it's almost a saying that 6 is different from half a dozen, because I'm very sure that Atiku Abubakar would also want to win his state. It would be a matter of almost like, I don't want to use the word disgrace to him, if it's said that he lost his state in the gubernatorial election. So you don't think that he too would also be working really hard to ensure that he delivers that state? And then I also want to ask you about your chances in the presidential election in Adamawa State as well.
Yes, you know, he is working round the clock to see that he wins Adamawa State as a presidential candidate. But I want to let you know that there is. Let me come out clear now. There are crises and internal wrangling within the PDP, and the governor knows it, that he's not getting the support of a lot of people within the PDP ranks who are supportive of Atiku Abubakar. And that is why we are sure and we know that we are going to get those votes, because they've not been able to mend those fences. And those people who the governor has stepped on their toes and have offended have vowed to support the candidature of the APC to ensure that the APC, coming with its goodwill and its antecedents, take over the state and continue the good work that it has been doing. And I want to let you know that despite the fact that the presidential candidate of the PDP comes from Adamawa State, the APC presidential candidate has large followership and have large supporters in APC. There is nobody from APC with all their PVCs and their support for the All Progressives Congress that are going to vote for Atiku Abubakar, even though he's coming from the state. So it is going to be a very tough fight, but I want to assure you that there is large followership for Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and there is large followership for Senator Aissatou Dahiru Binani. So the votes are going to be clear when the ballots are being casted.
All right, we have our eyes in Adamawa State as well. We're monitoring events there as well. Monitoring events all around the country. Thank you so much for talking to us. We wish we would have had a response from Mr. Solomon Kumanga, but he couldn't join us. Thank you very much for talking to us. The Adamawa State...
Maybe next time he will be able to come on so that we can have a really robust and engaging conversation.
We will have both of you again. Thank you so much for talking to us, Mr. Martins, YANATHAM, DICKSON. All right, let's take a break. When we return, we will be turning over to the APC campaigns. Stay with us. Thanks for staying with us. The ruling All Progressives Congress has continued to move state to state, canvassing for a vote from Nigerians. The latest is a town hall meeting with the Nigerian youth, where the flag bearer of the party says youths will be part of his government to be able to maximize their potential. Joining me to talk about this and just generally the campaign of the APC is the chairman of Southwest Agenda 2023 OGUN, Senator GBENGA OBADARA. Good to have you join us.
Oh, thank you, madam.
So let me begin with are you a member of the ICC? Because I sort of have information that you're a member of the Independent Campaign Council.
I'm the state coordinator of Ogun State, of the Tinubu Shetima Grassroots Independent Campaign Council. Okay. And also a member of the PCC parliamentarians.
Okay, so which is great, which means that we can speak on some of the issues I'm about to raise. Speak to us so far, because we've seen the PCC, we've seen PCC engaging. What exactly has the ICC been doing?
Wonderfully. You see, the ICC, that is a grassroots arm of this campaign. That's why they call it Tinubu Shetima Grassroots Independent Campaign Council. We are the mobilizer. We are the onion of the campaign. We are the one that moves around street to street, door to door, hamlet to hamlet, really evangelizing what APC as a party will do with Bola Ahmed Tinubu coming into the presidency of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. You know, the PCC is the party structure. The ICC is the Independent Campaign Council of Asiwaju himself, really evangelizing what we know of Asiwaju, engaging and thoroughly engaging the people that we know are going to vote. We don't need to be an APC member. You could be PDP, you be AAA, you be any party or any non-affiliation. Ours is to continue to evangelize what we know APC as a party, with Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu being the presidential candidate, by God's grace coming to be the president of the Federal Republic, what he stands to do for the country, leading us out of this doldrum.
I want to get to your engagements with the grassroots in a moment, but we understand that, and that's why I said you're probably the best person to speak to this issue. Because we are getting reports, absolutely, because we're getting reports of competition between the ICC and the PCC, and that they're sort of at loggerheads. How true is that report? Speak to us on that.
I do not say anything being a loggerhead issue. It's a complementary relationship. Imagine, I was the chairman, and he is still now, the chairman of Southwest Agenda, that is Swagger, that really propagates at Tinubu coming out to come and be the president. We started it almost 3 years ago. When Asiwaju does not even have the mind to come out, we went around length and breadth of Southwest of Nigeria. We're in Akwa Ibom as well. We're in Edo State. We're in Kano. We're in Kaduna. We are in Mina. We are in Kwara. We are in Kogi. We are in FCT. But to God be the glory, Asiwaju accepted to come out, to come and run for the presidency. So through that was before even the involvement of anybody. But Asiwaju coming in, being able to converse around, being able to get people for him to get 1,271 votes. I mean, for him to win the president, to win the primary. Thereafter, you know, the way it's done, now there will be, party will take the structure. It's no longer Bola Ahmed Tinubu issue. It becomes the party property. Now, becoming a party property, then that came the Presidential Campaign Council. The Presidential Campaign Council, which I am a member, you know, I'm the chairman of Swagger National, became the chairman support group for the whole country, and every other person, I mean, being incorporated, was 4,000 people. So by the time we're able to do that, we look at that, that's a party structure. I mean, we are members of the party, we are the soldiers of the party, but now, the Independent Campaign Council now came to be, this is the arm at which we want to reach out to the grassroots. This is the area where we want to reach out to the people on the road. We want to reach out to people in the hamlets, through our engagement to artisans, through our engagement to all the citizens of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. In the 774 local governments we have, including everywhere. So we are able to start to now soldier on, being evangelizing, what the party will do, thorough engagement. So even you see the wife talking to the husband that was not a believer before. In Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, you are talking to the schools. We are talking to the market women. We are talking to the tailors. You are talking to the butchers. You are talking to mechanics. You are talking to every facet of people in the Federal Republic of Nigeria at which they will have to really know what Asiwaju Bola Ahmed stand for. We want to know his capabilities. We want to know his capacity. We want to know his human endowment. We want to know his contribution before now to the success, to the glory, and to the development of the Federal Republic of Nigeria through its Lagos mini nation.
All right, so let me ask you, because you said you have been engaging with the grassroots. You saw the recent letter that was put out by the former president, Olusegun Obasanjo. One of the things he said is that this country is now at its worst state in the past 7.5 years that this administration has been on. And people, when you also listen to people, things are really difficult for a lot of people. So when you go to the grassroots and you speak to them, because one of the things that people have said is that, look, this perhaps will make it difficult for the presidential candidate of the APC, Asiwaju Tinubu, to sell himself and sell his message to the people. But when you go to the grassroots, what do you hear?
No, let me say this to you. Bola Ahmed Tinubu is different from Muhammad Buhari. Everybody has their names. In the present time, President Buhari is the leader of APC in the country. He is the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Now, we need to now start to compare apple to apple. We need to see, Asiwaju is telling you, I've never been a president. We are telling you what Asiwaju done in the past. See what he did in Lagos State, where he has had the opportunity of 8 years to be involved in the governance of a state, a mini Nigeria, about almost 25 million people. You can see what he was able to do from 600 million IGR to today getting to almost 50 billion. You can see without even having to lose 4 years of government, federal government support, seizing the money, and being able to get out of that and make Lagos State a vibrant state. See what he's able to do in terms of the infrastructure on ground before he left, even after he left. Look and see what he has done, the template of governance he has put down in Lagos State. To see, now imagine if he has the opportunity to rule a bigger nation.
And interesting you said that, because some people see personalities and they see that, oh, probably they're different. But for a lot of people, what they see is party logo. And what they see is APC. And when you say, oh, look, we're continuing the legacies, we're continuing the party manifesto. So when you speak to people on the grassroots, that's what I was asking you earlier, what do you hear from them? What do they tell you?
Let me tell you, as a grassroots myself, a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, you know what it takes me to go into election, to win election? The engagement starts from the apathy. You are hearing many things how people are unhappy. I will not deny that. Why are they unhappy? You can see many mismanagement that has happened in the past. You know, governance is in the continuum. Now, when we are saying this thing is bad, okay, what do we take out of that being bad? Do we want that being bad to continue? What we know that what is the antidote to stopping that being bad? The only antidote is to put a competent person. You not deny that. I mean, there are a lot of things happening in the nation now. People are unhappy. Yes. I will not deny that. But the issue is, do we continue to it being bad? No. How do we then rectify what has been bad? The way to rectify that is bringing a competent person, is bringing a person that you know that have the capability of rewinding and bring it back
from the same system. From the same system
into a better system, my dear.
And that's, can change come from the same system? And that's because that's where a lot of people sort of have, where they are sort of skeptical because they see, like I said earlier, just the same logo. Can change come from within the same system? And when you speak to people in the grassroots, are they hopeful of the capacity of Asiwaju to change things?
Because they have seen what he has done in the past. Now, as I said earlier, let's compare apple to apple. Are you now talking of him that has done that XXXXX in taking of the indexes? To bring in somebody that has not even done anything near that such? We are only going from fry pan to fire. Because we need a competent hand at this time to rewind the tools. If you are not going to start, imagine let's be elementary. I did GCSE. I scored AAAA. Now, you now wanted a teacher that needs to teach somebody to take AAA. Are you going to start from somebody that doesn't even match the teacher you have used to score it? No, you are going to use a teacher that has the experience that have taught me to take AAA. You want to match that. Now, a situation is bad. When a situation is bad, what do? We want it to improve. Where does that improvement come? Let me tell you, the party is just avenue to contest. The independent candidacy is not in the country electoral system. Somebody will have to come from a party in order to go and do something. Who are we going to choose? Are we going to choose the non-competent person that will take us back? Now we are now in 50% bad. Are you now going to say now somebody that now you are going to take somebody that doesn't have the experience from that 50 to take us to 70? Now you are are you going to take somebody who will take us from that 50 to 20 Worse. No. We want to improve from this 50. We want to improve from this that it will not happen again. So that is why we need a competent hand. Where does this competent hand among the whole candidates? We have seen the Federal Republic of Nigeria jostling to be president of our country. So now, that's why I said we call it engaging. Now, to engage somebody, you need to talk. Laid beer is bad, yes. I will not say that. But being bad, what can reverse that bad to being good? Then start asking, who? Is it this? Is it this? Is it this? No. Then you are going to tell, how do you then convince them being engaging? You then have to tell them what X have done, what B has done, what D has done. So everybody will now put on a scale of balance. Which weighs most? Then you go, I know it's better I follow this. Our misfortune can be reversed to fortune. But then if you're in a misfortune situation, you put somebody that doesn't have that experience, what's going to happen, my sister? I put that to you. In that situation, it means to continue to get worse. We need somebody that's really going to improve, that's really going to put a smile on our face, that's really going to, the unhappiness, we'll have to change it, and it's going to change our misfortune into something that is going to be better for my children, your children, our children generally, and our country will be able to get to El Dorado.
I have two quick questions for you because I'm looking at the time and I realize that we're almost out of time. First of all, you have said that, using your analogy, you will bring in a teacher who would, if a teacher is helping you score AAA in an exam and then the teacher leaves, you want to bring another teacher who can do just even better than the AAA. I'm sure that the other candidates or the other parties, Peter Obi and of the Labour Party and Atiku of the PDP, or Kwankwaso of the NNPP, their own supporters will also say, well, these are also AAA teachers. So what makes Asiwaju stand out from these other AA people who also claim that their own candidates are AA teachers?
You're asking a good question. What has been the antecedent? Ask Obi today. Anybody that has mentored. He was a governor 8 years in Anambra State. Now, go to Anambra State alone. Don't let us talk. We're talking Lagos, which Asiwaju governed, and where Obi governed. My sister, go and see the balance of scale. In the first instance, is Soludo supporting him if he had made something good on ground? Is Willie Obiano supporting him? That really took over directly from him? Is Andy supporting him? Is Ngige supporting him? And look at the people that has, the people you have must mentored. Where are they today? What can he talk to in Anambra State? Now, let's talk Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. See how many, let's start from breaking Lagos State into LCDA. From 20 local government to 37 LCDA, 57. Have you seen any of the LCDA not been able to prosper till now? Have you seen any of the LCDA that's not been able to contribute positively to expanding, to really do something great? Now, are you going to talk about how many House of Assembly members that have passed through his hand as a teacher? Are you going to talk about the House of Representatives, out of the senators, the ministers, the vice president, and everything you can think of? That has been their mentors. So you can see what has happened. And that's human development. Now you can see the financial re-engineering he did. You can see how Lagos is today. Look at what we are about to enjoy today, talking about the Blue Rail. Who started it? Look at the Atlantic City. How did it start? We knew what happened. I mean, my office was under, Bishop Oluwole. If the rain comes, you know what? The rain goes right inside there, but go and see that it now is city, a different place. And many things we are talking about.
I wish to have more time with you, Senator OBADARA, but I'm sure that we'll have you over and over again
no problem.
As we approach the election just next month.
Yes.
Thank you so much for talking to us. I said I had another question, but I do not have the time to ask it. Hopefully we'll have you again and we can talk about that.
Thank you,
Chairman of Southwest Agenda 2023 OGUN and also a member of the ICC and PCC parliamentarians, Senator GBENGA OBADARA, thank you so much for talking to us.
It's my pleasure to be here. Thank you.
You've been watching Standpoint. Thanks for watching. I am Precious Amayo.